Hello, my name is Michelle and thank you for clicking on my first video ever. Instead of doing a Q&A, I'm doing a testimony video. So yeah, y'all really about to be in my business. I came in terms with it. It's all good. This is not something I'm used to, but we're just gonna jump right into it. So I want to first off by saying that I never grew up in a Christian household. I always grew up in the religion Santeria, which is basically witchcraft, and it's a religion that was based in Cuba and has been spreading all over, you know, the Caribbean islands. So like this is Cuba, and then like the islands around there, it's been spreading over that area. So this started by the age of, like, that I can remember at least, was like 6 till like 12, something like that. And so growing up in that, I never realized that this was like witchcraft. I always knew that there was a God and Jesus, but I didn't really ever care for it. I didn't really care like to get to know him. I never really cared to get into Christianity or none of that stuff. I didn't care for it, nor did I care for Santeria, but you know, like, I was a child, so I didn't know what was actually going on. So then at 10 years old, I was exposed to porn for the first time. And let me just tell y'all right now, porn is really the gateway to demonic and evil spirits. I can genuinely do like a separate video on that, but porn really is a very demonic, evil industry, and it will it would allow evil spirits and demonic presence in your life, to be honest. And even though it's all normalized, like everybody and their mama do it, everybody and their mama watch porn, but that just because it's normalized does not mean it's okay. Does not mean it's like perfectly fine to do it. Like, no, it's not. It's really not. I don't think anybody in any age range should do it. So I was introduced to it. I never masturbated to it at 10, but I was introduced to porn. So this opened, I believe that this really did open up to all like my insecurities. This opened up to my lust. This opened up to having sex at an early age. This opened up to all this stuff because like I said, it is a gateway, just like how weed is the gateway to drugs. This is literally the gateway to demonic evil things in your life. So boom, 10 years old, did that, and then boom, let's go to middle school. So middle school, I was a damn mess. Like, I was so insecure about everything. I had a really vulgar bad mouth. I had a bad attitude. And when I say I was insecure about everything, like, girl, like literally everything, like everything you can think of, tell me, because I'm almost like 100% almost positive insecure about it. So anything you can think of, I was insecure about. So then afterwards, let me think. Here we go. Okay, so after that, so oh my gosh, I'm saying so much. Let me stop. So in 7th grade, I said it again. 7th grade, I literally changed schools like 3 times. It was bad, like literally just like in 7th grade in general, because I kept having problems with my mouth. I had a really bad attitude problem with adults. It wasn't really more so students, even though there were some a-holes to me too, don't get me wrong, but adults would mainly like the target. I was always having problems with adults, and there was even this one school I went to that I can do a separate video on that too, of this principal being racist as hell to me, girl. Because so I had a mouth problem, like I told you, like this vulgar mouth, always cussing, always talking, whatever. And I remember I was in her office and she was literally like, I know you people be talking too much, but child, it's funny to look at now. But back then it was just like, what are you doing? You're talking to like a 12-year-old telling me this, or not even, I think, no, I was 12. So you're talking to a 12-year-old saying all this crazy stuff. But anyways, so then I also in middle school, I was introduced to lust. I was introduced to weed. I didn't do it yet, but I was introduced to those stuff. And you know, as a kid, we all get a little bit curious, and that's what happened. And curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity, what is that saying? Yeah, curiosity killed the cat. So boom, that's what happened in middle school. So boom, high school. High school is where it gets really bad, girl. High school is where it gets severe. So 14 years old, freshman year, I was first off, let's just start off by saying this whole lingo where they say freshman year is the most important year. It's so important. And no, it's not. No, it's not. Because freshman year, I was never at school. I was really always skipping school to hang out with some grown-ass men that I did not know they were grown at the time. So before y'all like start coming at me, I did not know they were grown. Like they basically lied about their age. It was just a whole situation. And don't get me wrong, I was also very like, I was a liar, I was a manipulator. I was always lying to guys about my age, and girl, oh my lord, just so much. So yeah, 14 years old, I was doing all that. I was skipping school, I was smoking weed, I was never at school. And then something very hard hit me at 14. I had a cyst. So if y'all don't know what a cyst is, girl, me neither. I don't know what a cyst is either, but I gotta do my research on that actually, because I really don't know what a cyst is. But I think it's like a worm in like in a woman's ovaries, and usually it is very common for a middle-aged or adult woman to have that. It's very rare in a 14-year-old. It's very rare in a minor or a teenager. So hold on. I think I got like, girl. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it's very rare in that, and in a child. So I had this at such a young age, and this was, now that I look back at it, it was actually really a blessing in disguise. But at the time, it was the worst thing in my life. Like, I was so depressed. I was just so anxious. I hated it. It was my biggest surgery I've ever had. And this was just, it took a toll on me. Clearly I didn't learn my lesson, so I got worse at, you know, sophomore year. But it really did take a big toll on me, and it really saved my life, honestly. And talking about saving lives is another thing that I know God was just not finished with me, because at these ages, at high school, at such a young age, I put myself in situations where people could have easily kidnapped me and killed me, and I would have been like one of those girls on the news who are dead, who are found dead in a river, who are found dead in a ditch. Rest in peace to those beautiful souls. But like, it's insane. Like, God was just not done with me. God had a plan for me that I now look back at. So then at 15, so that's what happened at 14. So yeah, I was skipping school almost every single day. Then I had that big surgery, and I had to miss school for 3 weeks, girl. 3 weeks I had to miss school. So missing school, towards the end of the semester, I was missing school towards the end of the semester, and we all know that towards the end of the semester, that's when we fix our mess ups. Like, we gotta fix our grades, girl. And that's the only thing that saved me. Having that surgery is the only thing that made me like actually pass freshman year. That was the only thing, because, you know, teachers gave me a second chance. Teachers like they just let it pass by, whatever. Yeah, so that was the only thing that really just saved me, was having that surgery. That's the only reason why I even went to sophomore year and then repeat freshman. So sophomore year, I was 15, and this was a reckless year, girl. I was in fights, well, not multiple fights, but I was in a fight. I was not drinking. I didn't ever like drinking, but I was smoking. I was smoking even more. I was having sex. That's when I first started actually having sex and stuff like that. I had my first boyfriend that was way older than me. That was just, girl, I was making these men catch cases. Like, this was just not okay, and I'm not trying to make it like this is okay and I'm bragging about it. Like, hell no. This was not cute. This was not okay. So, and this was also around the time where I would lie a lot about my age too. That was happening. Sophomore year was just a mess. I had a very vulgar mouth as well. I didn't really stop having a vulgar mouth till recently, but I always had a really, like, I feel like it was worse when I was a teenager. It was really bad. I was cussing like every single sentence. I was smoking not almost every single day, but I usually smoked. I never smoked by myself. I usually smoked with other people, which is why it's important that the people you hang around with, keep an eye on them. People you hang around with, you will eventually turn as well. And I learned that after high school. So yeah, it's 15 years old. I'm a damn mess, just doing the craziest things. I was always sneaking out as well. I was always sneaking out like in the weekends to, it wasn't anything crazy majority of the times, but I was sneaking out, hanging out with groups of friends, hanging out here, hanging out there. I was just always sneaking out and seeing the boo thing, sneaking out all the time. I had like a rush on that when I was younger. Girl, mess. But then boom, that was 15 years old. Then boom, 16 years old. That's when I actually graduated high school early. That's why I said freshman year doesn't actually matter, because I basically wasn't like in high school for like 2 years basically. So I graduated early, but at 16 years old, I was still a little, not too reckless, not too messy. I was kind of growing up a little bit, but I was still like smoking weed here and there. You know, just it was like a whatever thing. Like 16 years old was like, okay, whatever. So, but I do gotta say that after high school, I got a lot better. I got very, like, so much better. And that's because I literally didn't have no friends after high school. After high school, all my friends gone. I think I only had like 2 or 3 friends afterwards that were from high school or who I grew up with. And now they're gone. So like, you know what I mean? So that really changed a lot. That changed a lot of my perspective. Oh, I missed out something as well. I was always prank calling as well. Oh my gosh. There was this, and one time I even ended up in, how do you say, it's not those mental institutions, it's those where kids like attempt to kill themselves. It was one of those things. I did not attempt to kill myself. It was a whole prank calling thing I was doing. Oh my gosh, just a damn mess. Really, just a damn mess. It just, you know what I mean, you get the point. But I was very, I look back at this and I was very influenced by the people around me. I was very influenced. The reason why I was doing these things was because the people around me were doing these things. And that's why it's so important. The people around you really do matter. So if everybody around you are bums and they're drinking and they're smoking and they're messing with a different girl every other day, or messing with another guy every single other day, you're thinking, okay, I'm not about to be like this. But eventually you will, girl. You will, trust me, you will. Because I had the same mindset. I was like, am I gonna end up like this? Girl, I ended up worse. I ended up worse than them. So it's just like, yeah, no. It was just not it. And what else? So yeah, after high school, I did get a lot better. Fast forward, I went to college. I had my first job, first school, first car, first everything, basically. And what was it? I was still kind of a mess. I was still lying and manipulating, but it wasn't as bad as in high school. But then last year in September, oh wait, hold up. I missed a whole, I'm like skipping around. Hold up, girl. So, and actually in 2018, like towards the end of the year, this is when I met my first like long relationship boyfriend. I met him, and I didn't know him longer than that. I knew him longer because he went to the same high school as me, but this is the first time I actually started talking to him. Like we started talking as friends, because like at the time, like I had this, oh my gosh, this dumb mindset of I will never date a white boy, I will never date this, I will never date that, I will never date, like I was just focusing on race, and it was just like, and race and just physical features. And girl, please, if you have that mindset now, please take that mindset off. It is so toxic, it is so pointless, and this is why y'all continue ending up, I'm not saying everybody, but majority of people end up with just the same type of relationship every time, same type of toxic relationship, because y'all not looking in the inside, y'all looking outside. And I'm just speaking this from experience. Now, however, my relationship wasn't horrible for the 3 years, but it did have its toxic moments. And we actually ended up dating in January, at the end of January of 2019. But we were talking, we were friends at first, and then we were talking for like literally less than a month. Like actually talking, we like less than a month, which I don't regret anything, but I wish that would have been a lot longer, because eventually we ended up breaking off the relationship this year. Because we were just in different life paths and all. Like no harsh blood, no bad blood, no bad terms, whatever the saying is. It was none of that. So oh yeah, so when I was dating him, 3 years, like I said, longest relationship I ever had. And we got our first apartment together. And the apartment was like in like Riverview area. If y'all like are in Tampa Bay area, it was like in Riverview. And this is what I was trying to say before. So last year in September, that's when I started getting like my relationship with God. And it wasn't because I wasn't going through anything deep. I wasn't going through anything like how I was like in high school. I wasn't going through none of that stuff. But like, it just happened all of a sudden. Like, God really just found me at that moment. He was like, girl, you about to give your life to me. And that's exactly what happened. Literally in September 2021. That's literally what happened. I remember the day where I was just like, I'm going to give my life to God. I'm gonna repent my sins. And for y'all, repent means to not do it again. Please know the difference between repent and just forgiving and just like, you know what I mean? Just, there's another word to it where you would be like, I'm sorry, but then you would just do it again. So it's just like, repenting means you just won't do it again. And so far I've been doing really good at that by the strength of God, honestly. But I did repent like all my sins to God. I did repent a bunch of stuff to him. I talked to him by this like beautiful, because our apartment, there was like a beautiful river right there. And I literally just sat in front of that river and I just repented my life to him. I literally just said everything to him. And I was like, God, I am ready for you to I'm letting you into my heart. And all of us should really just let him into our hearts, because he will easily fill that up. And that is another thing about God. I can't even, like, obviously people are just like, God's not real, God's not real. Majority of people don't believe in God. Or they do, but they just don't have the right perception of him. Like how I did. I didn't have the right perception of him. Like, I knew he was there, but I never got to know him. I never cared about getting to know him. And what God is, at the end of the day, we can't prove him scientifically, but he's proven through experience. If you've had an experience with him, then that's when you know he is real. That's when you know he's actually like, he's here for us, and he is here to love us and to take care of us and protect us. And we are here to serve him at the end of the day. I might sound crazy now for the people who've never had an experience with God, which you probably have. You just haven't really noticed it or have opened your eyes to it. Because I look back at my past, and for example, me not ever getting to like get murdered for the things I was doing. That was already like God looking out for me. That was already God saying like, girl, you got bigger plans. So that right there, just like, there's always something. Just look at your past or look at your present, look at what you're at now, and you will know that he is there. He is there with you, by experience, based by experience, not scientifically proven. But yeah, ever since giving my life to God, I have literally changed. Like, if y'all knew who I was back then, y'all would see the change. Because like I said, I've changed literally almost every single thing in my life. The only thing that's never really changed is my personality, but he's changed my heart, that's for sure. He has changed my heart. I've changed the way I've dressed. I've changed the way I've spoken. I've changed the things, the music I've been listening to, which is so important. The music is important, girl. The music is important. Music really does feed your soul, and whatever you are listening to, it really does matter. So, and I've seen the drastic change in the drastic mindset from switching to rap that's talking about drugs, sex, money, lust, just worldly things, to switching to Christian rap. Which I'm gonna put y'all on some Christian rap, to be honest, because y'all really are missing out. Christian rap, it really is like, that's where it's at. Forget worldly rap, listen to Christian rap. I'm telling y'all that's where it's at. It's funny because God really does work in different ways. Because before I gave my life to God, I was isolated. He literally completely isolated me. The only person I really had in my life was my boyfriend at the time, which he eventually took him away from my life because it just wasn't the time. It wasn't ready. So God has literally completely isolated me, and it has been such a blessing. So peaceful, such a blessing. Yes, it can get a little boring sometimes, but it's allowing me to know God even more. So I really hope that this video does help, and I really do hope that this video gives hope to someone out there that, hey, I'm not that much of a burden, like I'm not a lost soul. Let me turn my heart to God, because he, at the end of the day, if you want change, nobody can change you except God. I'm telling you this right now from experience. Nobody can change you except God, but you are gonna want to have to change. If you don't want to change, God's not gonna help you, baby girl. He's not gonna help you. But if you do want to change, and God knows you want to change, he will do that for you. And I'm literally, like I said, this is all experience. I'm just speaking from experience. I'm not an expert. I'm not, like, I literally just started September, not even a year yet that I've been in this path with God, and he has blessed me with so many things. Like, he has blessed me with literally like countless blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. It doesn't stop. He literally closes one door but opens to another door and another door and another door. So I really hope this helped y'all. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And yeah, thank you. Bye now.